Welcome back everyone to Welstopia. I am back here at my little pumpkin farm here. I've added to it a melon farm to go with it, so I have one of each. And I've also changed the look of it. I think it looks a lot better than it did when I closed out last time. So that's what I have over there. Now, these chests over here, I put them here because I couldn't put any building blocks there. All I could put was something that couldn't be moved by the pistons or through slime blocks. So therefore I put a double chest there, even though it serves no purpose since it's blocked on the top of it. Well, it serves a decorative purpose, but it doesn't serve any purpose as a chest. Now up here, then we have the actual farm operation. I don't have a roof on it yet. I guess I'll have to figure that out at some point. Temporarily, I've put in jack-o'-lanterns as my lighting source down here. So I could always have a lighting source even if it's dark, which is good. And I moved my clock back to here. And it's now filled with feathers and in full operation. I'm stepping away from the industrial area for a while to consider this matter up here. The lighthouse. Now there is one thing missing with the lighthouse, and that is a rotating light. And I think that we really need to look into that if we're going to be complete. Now we do have the beacon up on top, and that is our main source of identification for our lighthouse. But it'll still be nice to have a rotating beacon and perhaps a beacon that turns on during the nighttime and turns off during the daytime, because right now it just doesn't look like it's doing anything. It looks like it's a normal piece of stone. I could almost just have wood there instead of the glowstone I have. It'll be the same thing. Well, except for mobs will spawn up on the top of it, but other than that, it seems to not be very different. So therefore, a rotating light would be good. So the rotating light will be the first priority, and the second priority is going to be getting that light so that it will turn on and off. Now I have come up with the design for this, and I'm going to see if I can actually execute the thing. So now let's head up to the top of the tower, which is a bit of a way. Maybe someday I'll just instinctively ender pearl up here so that I can get up here more quickly. I keep on forgetting about ender pearls. Now, unfortunately, the new design that I have here for the rotating item is going to take 5 levels up instead of the 3 levels it currently is, which means I'm either going to have to lower this up or raise the pyramid. And raising the pyramid, of course, is going to ruin the range of my beacon. And I don't think I want to do that at the moment. My beacon has a short enough range as it is, considering how tall it is. So therefore, I'm going to knock that down 2 levels. Now I've also have to remove all the glowstone, because I'm going to be replacing all of my glowstone with redstone lamps, because I'm going to need redstone lamps for this. I'm going to be using bone blocks for my decorative parts of the lamps. I'm going to use comparators in order to actually do my lighting, in order to do my rotating. This is going to be my first serious build where I'm using comparators. Actually, might even be my first build period on the matter. I'm going to be using some wood, and I'm going to be using hoppers. And those are the key items that I'll be using during this build. I'll probably also need one miscellaneous item. I could just take a piece of wood, throw that in, and that'll do the trick. And that should get everything rotating. So let me cut this down 2 levels, get rid of those glowstones, and I'll be ready to actually start. Now that we have lowered the bone blocks, the next thing I want to do is to put out a lip. And what I mean by that is that I want to take this and go all the way around. Now, unfortunately, getting the bone blocks to do that is going to be the tricky bit. And I'm also going to be hitting against the fishing area. Now, what I really should do is move my fishing farm to a better location. Now, the purpose of this lip here, now I'm going to have to move that one. That one's going to have to be vertical because the horizontal just won't look right. I'm trying to avoid having the vertical look all the way through, but I think it will work for the sides. Oh, actually, that's not going to work no matter what I do, right? So I'm going to have to pillar up. Actually, can I do this without missing the stairway? The idea of what I want to do is to place the block down there, get some dirt. Do that and put the block right here. Alright, so I have the corners with the block like that, and then put them in. The idea for this lip is because the new beacon is going to be 8 by 8, and the reason why it's going to be 8 by 8 is to fit the pyramid that's on top of it, and also because I'm going to have some redstone in the middle here, and the redstone just doesn't work with the 6 by 6 design. So let me finish this lip and we'll be back. With the lip complete, it is now time to start with the redstone lamps. Now, in order to work with this, we're going to have a little pattern here in the corner, and the reason for this is that I want to have a support system on the corners. It's also because the lighting system that I'm using does not really work well on the corner areas. So therefore, for aesthetic reasons and for practical reasons of the redstoning, I'm going to be leaving it out in the corners, and so doing that on each of the corners. And then for the main parts, alright, let's get the corner here. So we'll take care of this. With the top bit, we'll have to wait. Alright, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. So we'll get the lower parts of the corners down there. Good, and now we get our redstone lamps, which are going to be down on the bottom area. Now I'm going to have to worry about lighting here for a moment. I know I've got all this light around me, and I'm going to have to worry about lighting, because unfortunately redstone lamps need a redstone source in order to produce any light, and it's going to be a little while before I have that. And in fact, during the daytime, these won't be on. This is going to be an automatic system that turns on and off each day, so therefore it turns on whenever it turns night, and it's going to turn off in the morning. So I have to make sure that it is properly lit. Yep, the fishing farm is going to have to go. Alas. I'm also going to have a way of getting up and down this place. And because I've got new way down. Well, I really don't need an ender pearl that short distance. Yeah, I didn't even take a little bit of a hit there. Alright, now back here. Let's see if I can go. Okay, good. I got up to here. Oh, okay. I thought I had room to get there. And we have one more layer over here. 1, 2. It's going to be tight with the pyramid right over my head. Now, I do want to keep that up there because this is my beacon, and the idea of having the beacon on top of the lighthouse, I think, is just fitting. It's another piece of identification. Because lighthouses, they have that whole thing with the rotating lights and all that stuff for identification purposes. And therefore, anything that can be used in order to identify the lighthouse is good. So therefore, on top of the rotating light that we'll be having here, we'll also be having a colored beacon which reaches out into the sky. So they say, all right, this particular rotation rate, cyan quad beam going up at the top, this must be the Pinesmith lighthouse, and they'll know where they're at. And that's the entire purpose of that. Now, I'm going to have to take down this fishing thing right here, everything except for the chest that I'm currently using, and then we could go into the next stage. Now that we have this all planned out and that we've gotten rid of our fishing farm, we can now take care of the floor for the interior here, which is going to be very important because this is where we're going to be placing our redstone. Now, this particular area is going to be right with the bottom line of the lamps. We're not going to be directly lighting the bottom lamps because redstone lamps, when you light one, it also lights the adjacent lamps. So therefore, we're going to be lighting these. And we're going to be doing them all over here. Now let's give me some light here. Good. So we're going to have the light coming around, strobing all the way around here. And the ones right here are never going to get lit, which is why I changed them into a pattern there. And what I'm going to put all around there will be some comparators and some hoppers. So what I'm also going to be needing around here, of course, is a way out so that I can exit here when necessary, so I can get in and out of the area. So therefore, I'm going to have comparators all around here. I'm going to have hoppers, which are going to be a key part of the system. And that's the heart of everything. After that, it's all about trying to get this thing to turn on and off at night, which is actually the most challenging bit of this entire build. So let me get some redstone comparators. And also get some hoppers. I have plenty of hoppers and say an egg. Why do I need an egg for? Because it's the most useless item I've got, and I thought the most useless item I've got would be perfect for using as my transport item for activating my hoppers. Let's get in here and let's get our comparators. And the comparators, I think I gotta put them in on this end, right? Oh, no. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the end we want. Because the double end, that's going to be the input. and the output will be the other end. And what happens if I throw a redstone signal around there, it is going to uh, light the lamp that's next to it. And in order to do that, we are going to be using hoppers. Now, the question is exactly where I'm going to do the alignment of my hoppers. If all I cared about was doing a nice circular pattern, I guess I could demonstrate that. Then I could just pick any place to start. And do my pattern around here. Now I want the light to go clockwise, so therefore I am installing these counterclockwise. And I'll have to redo that one since it wasn't placed at the start. And there we go. Open this up. Throw the egg in. And yeah. Let's see. And there we go. It is now strobing around. And that is the basic thing. In fact, if that's all I wanted to do, I wouldn't need those 2 extra layers up there. And I could just say, okay, done. But unfortunately, to get it to come on and off at night, we need more. It's a bit gloomy right now, but I think that's fitting considering that we're making a lighthouse and it helps us to see the strobing effect, which I think is working out pretty well. So therefore, let's get to the next stage. And this next stage is going to include getting the detection for day and night. Now to do that, first thing I want to do is to have some support here, because over the glass we're not going to be building anything, so therefore this is where we're going to be putting our support. And the stuff on the corner are the decorations for the support. And the reason for that is because in one of the corners we can't go up all the way due to the redstone. So therefore my compromise on the matter then is to fit that into our decoration. What we are going to need though is a Now the key to this entire section I'm about to do has to do with the hopper system on what I'm going to be doing here. Let's get rid of this. I did not mean to take out the comparator. Alright, let's put the comparator back in. And what I'm going to do now is to take this hopper here, put that one there, put that one there, and put that one over there. Good. Now when I put in the egg, and it starts moving all throughout the system and sending its redstone signals. So now we strobe around here. You'll notice there's a little bit of a hitch and delay here. That is not ideal, and I try to put that on the side facing away from the sea so that that's not seen on the sea side of the lighthouse. And I want to do this because my entire plan is to lock the item right here. Is that I'm going to be putting a redstone block right on top of here, and that's going to lock the egg because the redstone is going to turn off the hopper, lock it so it won't transport anything. Guess I could demonstrate that. Well, put the redstone block over here, and as you can see, it won't move. And since it won't move, did I just Yeah, I can now have a redstone block running around there. Alright, I'll retrieve my redstone block and get into the next stage. During the break, I finally figured out the right way to place this daylight sensor. I put a bone block under here, then placed the sensor on top of that, and now that redstone is now activated. But the main reason I wanted to take a moment was to get our sticky piston where we are going to place our redstone block. And that's going to be coming on and off as we need it. Now we're going to need to let's get this right here. Now we are going to, oh, I don't want to put that there. Now the way I'm going to be putting this redstone is in a very specific fashion that is going to require some daylight. Well, actually, I'm in the middle of this, so maybe it will require a little bit of night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this redstone and plop it around here. Now it's nighttime, so therefore it is off. So therefore I am in the strobing position. And this is all going around normally. But when I sleep, it should change things. Now, if we look up here, we see that the strobing is stopped. And that the redstone is on, that the piston is extended, and the extended piston locks that particular hopper. With that hopper locked, the egg gets stuck to there, so therefore the egg never passes by any of the comparators, and so therefore none of the lamps turn on. So therefore now I have a lighthouse that automatically turns on at night and that strobes. Yay! Here's a look at the lighthouse from the village hall. There you see it is currently off because it is daytime, and when we reach nighttime it should automatically turn on. All the lights turn on. We have the lights on the bridge turn on, and around the same time the light on the lighthouse should turn on and switch into activation mode and start strobing. There we have the night lights have all turned on. The lighthouse hasn't turned on yet. Ah, there it is. Now it is on, and yes, it is strobing. So yes, we have a working strobing lighthouse that automatically turns on day and night. And that is it for today's episode, and I'll return for another episode of Welstopia, where we'll head back into our industrial district.